recetas más genéricos en vez mediante cosas tan sencillas como email, como un recordatorio, como estar seguro que esto es exactamente lo adecuado. ¿No sería más interesante poder y crear una conciencia también dentro del equipo medio de manera selectiva en que esto pasa? Son actuaciones simples, pero actuaciones simples que en un caso ahorran vidas, en otro caso nos ahorran dinero, y un poco es una parte del futuro que nos viene. Muchísimas gracias.
Gracias, Esteban, muy interesante. Bueno, ahora le damos la palabra a Julia Alexander, es responsable de ciudades inteligentes en Siemens. Además es autora de Smart Cities, es un libro, Cities in the Digital Age. Por favor, Julie.
Thank you, and I'm delighted to be here in Buenos Aires, especially because the city is hosting the Smart Cities Expo, but also because this year's Siemens is celebrating a very special anniversary. And that anniversary is 160 years ago since August, Siemens delivered its first project in Argentina. That project was the delivery of the first telegraph network in Argentina, and that was on the westbound railway between El Parque and La Floresta stations. And of course, it's the success of the telegraph that allowed for the development of railways around the world and brought us the economic and social mobility that we all enjoy today. And so urban infrastructure is at the heart of our business, and it's really important as we look to the future to understand exactly how these solutions are going to change and how the business models are going to change. The reason for this change is because our cities are changing. And in Argentina, well, you can see with excessive population growth around the world, in Argentina, the population has over doubled in the last 60 years. But these people are also moving into our cities. And we're getting older, so in Argentina, over 20% of the population now is over 55. So as cities are looking to deliver services, the challenges that they're facing really are very different from those of the past. Of course, another modern day problem is climate change. And most responsible countries understand their role in the global emissions and seek to do something to resolve this problem. But as you can see in Argentina, 43% of emissions come from energy and energy systems. And if we think about how the populations are increasing around the world, then we're going to have to deliver more energy but reduce our emissions. And in Spanish-speaking South America alone, we're going to have to double generation capacity by 2030 and do that whilst we seek to reduce emissions. Also, traffic volumes are going to double in the next 30 years. So we have to act now to avoid crippling congestion and life-threatening air pollution. So these modern-day problems, they require modern-day solutions. And it's a digital revolution that's going to help us deliver on some of these. So you can see here, over 70% of people in Argentina are using the internet. But if you look, the trend is actually towards mobile phones, the sensors that we carry with us every day. And that is going to be the way the cities choose to communicate with us, and how we communicate with their services, with information, and with one another. And as we look to the future, the only way to deliver infrastructure at the volume, at the speed, and at the environmental performance required is through automation and digitalization. And so to understand cities' problems, we really need to collect the data. We need to understand what those challenges are. What we do know around the world, 40% of cars in our cities are looking for a parking space. And so with that information, we developed a project in conjunction with Berlin, where we use sensors, in this case radar sensors, to identify not only available parking in the city, but also parking violations, where people were parking in the wrong places, in the bus lanes, disabled parking bays, so that the city could better understand what was happening. And as we identify these available parking places, the information was communicated back to the car, either the dashboards or the apps, to direct drivers straight to the spaces, reducing congestion, but also allowing them to pay through digital means on the app itself. But the other reason that Berlin wanted this project was because prior to this scheme, every parking violation was costing the city $250 to resolve. And really, this is not the kind of money that cities have. But these kind of systems and this kind of approach can also be used to improve advanced service delivery. If we were to put sensors on all our trains, we can identify maintenance problems before they even arise. We can take those trains out of service proactively to a predefined schedule, order the part, replace the part on the train and get that train up and running again without any disruption to passengers. And these are the kind of services that we're really looking to exploit from the digital revolution and the use of sensors. But it's really important also to measure performance, to understand was it a success or a failure, and where the improvements in the future are needing to be. And what we can see from the Berlin case was there was a reduction over 40% time people looking for parking spaces. A reduction of around 20% in the avoidance of paying for parking, so that's more revenues for the city. But also, as you reduce congestion around the city, the public transportation network works better. So these were all multiple wins for the city. So this is London, this is where I live, and this is the Victoria line on the Underground network. This train carries 700,000 passengers every day. But the population of London is going to grow by around 1 million people in the next 10 years, and we need an additional 30% capacity on the network to accommodate those people and to keep the city moving. So we're working with the city to really electrify, digitalise and enhance all the systems on the train. We have digital signalling systems to increase capacity so the trains can run closer together, and that means we can get 3,000 more people through the system every hour. This is now the second fastest line in the world, and instead of waiting 3 or 4 minutes for a train, now they come every 100 seconds. And this is the power of digital. So instead of delivering a whole new train system across London, we can actually achieve this capacity requirement through digitalisation. And the importance of this intelligent infrastructure is we can now collect more data. So we can plan better, we can price better, and give options to citizens. And of course we can open data. And that gives benefits to entrepreneurs and innovators and startups who can use that data to deliver more efficiency. The weekend that London opened its transport data, a new app was born. That app is City Mapper. City Mapper will give you all the alternative public transport routes, how to cycle, how to walk, what your carbon footprint will be, what the cost will be of your journey, and also if there's any delays on the system. It even gave you the Uber fare on the app before London banned Uber just last week. So this app, this startup, is now in over 40 cities around the world, and the great thing is you can vote for the next city. So I'm suggesting you all get out your phones now, go to the App Store, download City Mapper. It will transform your lives, I promise you. You will thank me forever. It's an amazing app. And so looking to the future then and beyond this time that we're in right now, Siemens is looking to harness the power of data and take app development to the next level. And to do that, it's created a new platform, and that platform is MindSphere. We're looking to connect solutions from all the sectors around the city, use AI, machine-to-machine learning and data analytics to optimize infrastructure even further. And the beauty of this is all you tech geniuses and innovators out there can get involved. What we seek to do is get cities to upload their systems data onto MindSphere and invite app developers to come along and help us create more efficiencies in our system. So my message to you is that digital is the future, whether it's education, finance, healthcare, and infrastructure. So go out there and innovate and disrupt and capture the digital dividend. Thank you. That's me. Enjoy your expo, and look forward to the discussion in the next few days. Thank you very much.
Muchas gracias, Julie. El siguiente es Turgeon, JT. es el vicepresidente y Chief Technology de Software de AVAYA. Por favor.
Thank you. All right, lots to talk about. So without further ado, digital transformation is profound. It's having a very, very profound impact on how consumers, citizens, customers will be consuming our services. So what I want to talk about there's disruptive technology that is moving at a very rapid pace. I'm going to give you some examples as to how we bring all of these together in regards to leveraging artificial intelligence. How do we bring IoT and big data analytics and sophisticated analytics into the mix? And last but not least, the blockchain tsunami that is currently happening in various parts of the world, and also the impact that this could have on how we will leverage the services as we move forward. But in order to build smart cities initiatives, there are very critical components, and we have to start breaking the silos. So the way we look at a smart city, the government has a role to play. You have to make sure that you help break the silos. You ensure that governance, compliance, regulations, you have to prevent monopolies that may slow down the innovation within your cities, countries. So it's important that the government plays a key strategic role as part of the digital transformation to build smart cities. But every enterprise, every vertical industry also needs to contribute. If you don't break the silos, if everyone in healthcare, education, right, or other verticals, retail, financial institutions, if they don't all contribute to the digital transformation and build something smarter, well, the cities will not achieve its objectives. And last but not least, we have to ensure that the customers, the consumers of those services, your citizens, also consume and adopt those services. It's one thing to talk about mobility, but if people don't embrace it and don't consume those services, you're not going to achieve, again, what you want as a transformation. We've talked about the infrastructure. We have to do something different because this is moving at a very fast pace as we move forward. So let me give you some use cases examples. There's nothing better to understand the potential of this transformation. One area of focus that we have been working on with folks here in Argentina, in both public and private emergency services organizations, is to help transform how we offer emergency services such as 911, or in other parts of the world 112, 000, 999, whatever technology is being used. The key is as we mobilize, as we start using smart devices and become much more mobile than we've seen in the past, there's some serious challenges about identifying where you are when you require emergency. So what we're doing is we're building solutions to enhance the current capabilities that are traditionally only voice, and being able to bring location capabilities when you take your mobile device and dial for 911. And therefore we have to start transforming the PSAPs, the contact centers hosting emergency services, to be able to retrieve the location from the device and know exactly where you are when you call for emergency. All this needs to be automated, so therefore we need to start bringing things like analytics, your maps, your locations, all this to provide much more contextual information for people to be able to hopefully save lives again. This is a serious area that we have been investing a lot with the Argentinian community to be able to enhance, and we've actually demonstrated and prototyped some of these solutions right here, in the region. So as we look at other areas, transportation, we all experience traffic, jams. There are things that we can do to improve better, but the key here is to bring analytics capabilities within the mix. One real example that we have been working on here is you have the ability, example, to detect license plate. And I've seen, the board where you see actually as you drive by, you see your license plate, come up on the board. So what can we do, with that technology? Well, if you have driver's renewal or licenses or things like that that are expiring, what we can do is bring all of the system together, detect the license plate, From there, do analytics with your knowledge base to detect that this person has not renewed their licenses. So therefore, retrieve their location, track them, notify the police, to go and meet them at some areas, and then ask them to pay for their license fee and renewals right there on the spot using a smart tablet or smart device, as opposed to what I personally experience here, where people write down things manually on a piece of paper, which is not very effective and optimal, and again, could free up a lot of the police time to be able to automate all of this process. All this is possible. You already have pieces of that technology already in place. All we have to do is continue the enhancement and push the envelope even further. Hospitality is another area, but how do we bring hospitality and tourism together? I come from the San Francisco area, so when I land here and I go through custom, why can't there be a signal sent to the tourism industry that does analytics? Because last night I tweeted about my interest to go to a nice restaurant, or I wanted to go see a tango show. The tweets that I did should be captured by the tourism industry, fully automated with maybe artificial intelligence, and as soon as I clear customs, become a legal visitor to your country, you should start communicating with me and help me and guide me in consuming some of your services within your community. This drives your economy to higher levels, and again, it helps me drive a completely new experience that again breaks the silos across two different vertical industries and organizations. In healthcare, we're doing something very similar. Distance, remote patient monitoring. There are many remote areas that don't have the skill set required to be able to provide the right level of healthcare. So we're starting to bring all of the pieces together, leveraging IoT, wearables, technology, but also again, remote consultation. There will be a breakout sessions that will go into great details. We have won a substantial contract right here in Argentina to be able to interconnect hundreds of facilities and locations to be able to deliver best-in-class healthcare services currently available. Now use your imagination and we can start pushing this even further, where we can start bringing things like drones into the mix to be able to deliver medication and things like that. Now, plan for the future, as one of the speakers said, let your imagination go into the future to be able to deliver a completely new experience. And then other areas, education, distance learning. One thing that we've done in Europe that I'd be more than happy to discuss with some of your folks here is we've developed and implemented a developer community, allowing students to have access to a cloud-based development platform to be able to start developing their own solutions, being able to develop workflows to really customize and personalize the experiences of the people consuming services. Things like smart meters that were discussed earlier, have the students being able to, from their phone, add money to their meters, and again, all this becomes a simple workflow that we've done and delivered. Other things that we've done in other parts of the world, in North America as an example, where we've had to add some capabilities, workflow to be able to do school lockdown, and integrate with a paging system, right, and so on, to be able to deliver something powerful. But I want to close on touching with how do we bring AI, IoT, and blockchain together. One of the vertical that is largely impacted is around finance institutions, where we need to start delivering not just retail bank, but bring commercial bank and digital bank all together. We need to deliver solutions with smart kiosks, but then we need to start integrating and see what blockchain and digital currency will do from an impact and its experience point of view. So here's an example, and again, use your imagination. This is life before automation. We've all experienced this. You book a flight, one transaction. You book a taxi, another transaction. You go to the hotel, another transaction. You go to the restaurant, another transaction. There's nothing truly integrated. This is not really what a smart city should look like. If you use your imagination and start bringing all of the technology together, such as your personal assistant, your artificial intelligence. Let's say I want to go to London in the next 6 weeks. My personal assistant can watch for flights and check for discounts And if I have implemented digital currencies such as Bitcoins, I can actually automate the transaction by simply getting a notification on my wearables, my smartwatch, and being able to accept the transaction and book it through digital currency Bitcoins, direct peer-to-peer communication. Continue to push the envelope. Maybe there are so many delays, I want to buy a personal insurance to be able to change my flight without any additional fees. I can use my personal digital currency, my personal Bitcoins, to be able to implement this. Then I fly, I land. Why do I have to go through yet another authentication? I already bought a visa to get here. You have all my passport information. You should be able to recognize either my face, you should be able to recognize my fingerprint, and being able to, again, bring this into a fully automated experience as I land to your country. Then I go to the airport. Automation and workflow should be able to order me a taxi. Why do I have to do this manually or wait in line for a taxi? Think and push the envelope for self-driving cars as we move forward as well. And last but not least, now I get to the hotel. Why can't you, from my profile, I'm a platinum member of this hotel, why can't you recognize my face and therefore send me all of the digital information for me to go to my key, with my phone and being able to enter my room and have all of my personal Wi-Fi technology all pre-configured as if I was walking at home. A completely new experience by bringing AI, IoT, digital currency, and obviously analytics and blockchain technology all together. With that, hopefully you come and see us, and we're more than happy to discuss this further with you folks. Thank you very much.
Bueno, por último, estamos medio justo de tiempo. Pablo Prins, de la ONG Enseña por Argentina. Pablo es licenciado y profesor en Ciencias Políticas de la Austral. Por favor, Pablo.
Bueno, buenos días, muchas gracias por la invitación a presentar sobre una iniciativa social que estamos llevando adelante acá en la ciudad de Buenos Aires y en otras ciudades de Argentina en 5 provincias. Enseñar por Argentina surge hace 7 años como una iniciativa social que buscaba responder a la desigualdad educativa que hay en nuestro país, parte de una red global de organizaciones que están presentes en 46 países del mundo, que se llama Teach for All. Hoy en Argentina, nacer en una familia o en un barrio de contexto vulnerable hace que sea mucho más probable que esa persona vaya a una escuela que le ofrezca menores oportunidades educativas que una persona que haya nacido en una familia o en un barrio con mayores recursos socioeconómicos. Y obviamente esa realidad es injusta y es urgente en un contexto como estamos viendo hoy, donde la educación va a ser cada vez más importante para el desarrollo económico de las ciudades y de los países en general. Entonces, ¿cómo podemos responder nosotros como una iniciativa de la sociedad civil aportar frente a esta problemática? Creemos que frente a un problema tan multicausal, tan profundo, que no requiere solamente de una única política pública o de un único actor que esté involucrado, creemos que lo que más podemos aportar son liderazgos comprometidos que realmente quieran cambiar esta realidad, que crean en la educación como motor del cambio social y que tengan una convicción muy fuerte de que el cambio es posible. Por eso creamos un programa de liderazgo social y educativo que convoca y forma a jóvenes profesionales graduados universitarios para que se comprometan a enseñar en escuelas de contextos vulnerables durante al menos 2 años de sus vidas. Hace 7 años, ese era yo, junto con mis estudiantes de una escuela en Las Tunas, en Tigre, y hoy son más de 250 los profesionales que pasaron por esta experiencia de haber enseñado en un aula, en una escuela de contexto vulnerable, y haber visto todo el potencial que tienen esos estudiantes. Los elegimos porque tienen un perfil emprendedor, porque son líderes, tienen el talento y la convicción y la vocación por querer ofrecer una educación que realmente abra oportunidades de vida para sus estudiantes. Y quienes fuimos docentes, quienes estuvimos en un aula, sabemos que un aula es un espacio infinito de oportunidades para innovar prácticas educativas que les permitan a sus estudiantes ser los protagonistas en la construcción del conocimiento, para desarrollar habilidades académicas como la comprensión comprensión lectora, habilidades lógico-matemáticas, el pensamiento crítico, habilidades blandas como la comunicación, el trabajo en equipo y la creatividad. Y obviamente para que esos chicos puedan ir conectando lo que aprenden con su realidad cotidiana de todos los días y con su proyecto de vida. Por eso insistimos mucho a las personas que hacen nuestro programa a que realmente conozcan los contextos de los barrios a donde viven sus estudiantes, conozcan a sus familias, caminen por las calles y entiendan de verdad cuál es la realidad cotidiana con la que enfrentan los chicos para que puedan ofrecer una educación que realmente sea contextualizada. Y obviamente que puedan poner todo eso al servicio de que los estudiantes puedan llevar a la acción lo que aprenden y descubrir que ellos también pueden transformar la realidad. Muchos de ellos usan tecnologías en el aula, son jóvenes, son profesionales y son millennials, usan las tecnologías y entonces descubren que la tecnología puede ser un espacio, una oportunidad enorme para que ellos sean los que construyen el conocimiento en el aula. ¿Y qué pasa después de que terminan el programa? Después de haber estado 2 años en el aula desarrollando vínculos tan profundos con sus comunidades, ellos siguen comprometidos con la educación. El 80% de los profesionales sigue trabajando en educación y en organizaciones con impacto social, y los que no lo hacen siguen involucrados con este movimiento desde distintas áreas y desde sus profesiones de origen. Algunos siguen en el aula, siguen siendo docentes, algunos ya son líderes de las escuelas a las que empezaron a enseñar, algunos han entrado a áreas de gobierno convencidos de que desde la política pública, y contaba solo en muchas de las políticas que se están llevando adelante, hay oportunidades infinitas de acción y de transformación que se están ya haciendo en este momento, aquí en la ciudad de Buenos Aires. Y algunos han desarrollado sus propios emprendimientos, trabajan en ONGs o han emprendido organizaciones que o buscan promover el emprendedurismo en los jóvenes, buscan desarrollar ese liderazgo en ellos para que realmente sigan comprometidos ellos, los estudiantes, en desarrollar, en promover el cambio social en sus comunidades, o inclusive uno de nuestros o 2 de nuestros egresados del programa crearon una plataforma web que se llama Laburo Joven, donde están buscando unir estos 2 mundos, el de las empresas que no encuentran talento con habilidades digitales para sus empresas, y el de esos estudiantes que ellos conocieron que tienen tantas dificultades para acceder al mundo del trabajo, unir esos mundos, ofrecerles las oportunidades que tienen para desarrollar sus habilidades digitales y al mismo tiempo unir estos mundos para que puedan acceder a empleos de calidad.